Twice over the past month, Limoilou resident Véronique Lalande and her husband have complained about the levels of dust coating the neighborhood. They took samples, they had them analyzed. The first time the dust was reddish because of the presence of iron oxide, and the second sample was different, but in their eyes, just as worrying.
It showed that even if the iron level is much lower, even very high, but still much lower than the original sample we took, for coke, nickel and zinc, and we are particularly looking at copper and nickel because it's recommended that it has impact on health, the results are so high, even twice, 3 times, even 4 times what we had in the original sample.
That was Véronique Lalande, who lives in the Limoilou neighborhood of Quebec City. Her complaints were directed at the stevedoring company, Arrimage du Saint-Laurent, which handles a broad range of bulk cargo and mineral concentrate at its installations at the Port of Quebec. Richard Thibault is the communications spokesperson for that company, and he joins us on the line this morning. Good morning.
Morning, Ainsley.
Now, tell us about this first incident back in October when there was this blanket of red dust. Did this come from Arrimage's installations?
Absolutely. It was an error in the manipulation that produced this red dust over Limoilou. And, we at the port, this is an industrial zone, you see. And when we do the work we do there, it's inevitable that we are going to produce dust. Our main objective is to make sure that we do not incommodate our neighbors. The problem is that this event arrived during the night, and we took a certain time to realize that we had that dust over the city, and this is the reason why we didn't have the possibility to react fast enough. But since that time, we have employed a $7 million plan to add some tools to make sure that this thing don't happen. But you were talking about Miss Lalande, and we understand that she worries, and she's right worrying, and we wanted to reassure her that and her neighbors that this red dust was not the cause of all the contamination she's talking about.
We'll get into the results of those test results in a moment, but I just want to get back to the question of how that dust ended up in the air in the first place. Can you explain the process of unloading these materials?
Well, you know that Quebec is situated in the strategic point in the St. Lawrence network, you see, because it's the last port in where we have enough water to welcome all those big boats who arrive from all over the world. And what we do is we take the charge, the load of those boats, we unload the boats, we put this load on the soil, and then we put them back again in smaller boats to make sure that they are able to continue their way to Ontario or to Chicago, to the Great Lakes, in fact.
So are these materials arriving when you unload them, or do they arrive in piles, or is it?
They arrive in piles. It's what we say in French. It's vrac. I don't know what is the
bulk
word in English.
Yeah, it's bulk material.
Yeah, that's it. It's bulk material. You're absolutely right. And what we do is we take this material, we put this material on the wharf, and then we put them back in smaller boats to make sure that they can continue their route. So this is the reason why during that process, well, it's not always the same, but during that process, it's possible that we produce dust doing that, you can imagine. And you have to know also that as a general rule of thumb, what we do there is when those piles are not damageable for the health, it's we do that outside. And when we think that this material could be dangerous for the health, we do that inside. So there is no dust outside when it's dangerous for the health. So we wanted, first we knew that it was, like you said, iron oxide, which was distributed in the neighborhood on the 26th of October. We knew it was not dangerous for the health, but we wanted to reassure all our neighbors, and this is the reason why we did another analysis of this pile chemical analysis of this pile to make sure that we could reaffirm that it was not dangerous for the health, and it is exactly what we did yesterday.
Okay. Now, to talk about the results of Madame Lalande's tests, what does the company think of the test results that she has that indicate these high levels of various heavy metals?
Okay. The test we did were on samples which the civil servants of the Environment Department got on the pile. Okay, the rule is that they have to give us half of what they get to make sure that we have the same. We start from the same
source,
sample to make sure that we are going to have the same results. And we took this sample they already had there on their side. We know that they did exactly the same thing with their samples, and we give this sample to a company who do this specialized company who do this analysis for us, and it's a company which is accredited by the Environment Department. Who use methods who are accredited by the Environmental Department. So we did exactly what the Department of Environment would do with that sample.
And what did they show in terms of the level of heavy metals?
Well, it shows that this material is not toxic. This material is not dangerous, and if it's not dangerous at ground zero, you can imagine that when it goes, this rust goes in the air, and because it's rust, in fact, because it was iron oxide. So when this dust arrived at Miss Lalande's place, it was not more toxic than it was at the original point. You can imagine that. So, but I believe that she did what she had to do to alarm the public opinion. And what I says is, Limoilou is an industrial zone, semi-industrial zone, and there is a lot of other operations who are taking place in that place. Where we have train transportation, we have truck transportation. There are thousands of cars who produce also chemical and toxic products. We have a paper company who works there. We have so many things around the place in Limoilou that produce chemicals that we believe that it's probably all those sources we have to consider if we want to solve that problem. But we wanted to make sure that our neighbors, we know it's not funny to rise in the morning and see your car with reddish and we have this red color in the streets and things like that. We know that, and we paid for this damage, and we wanted to make sure that the people were not unhappy with us. So we met with them, with the victims, with those who believe they were victims of that. We paid for their damages. I believe that it was to their convenience now, and we wanted, moreover, to make sure that because we are a good corporate neighbor, we wanted to make sure that they don't worry because of this dust. We understand that maybe Miss Lalande obtained, I don't know how she got those samples.
Well, that's the second sample that I want to talk about. So just to be clear, the high levels of heavy metals, of other heavy metals, not iron oxide, that she found in the second sample, you're saying that did not come from dust from the port?
Well, it's not from the red dust. At the beginning, she was thinking that it was because this was coming from the red dust, which is not the case. And this is what we proved yesterday, and this is what we wanted to say to our neighbors to reassure them.
You talked about some of the steps that Arrimage is taking to minimize the spread of dust operations at the port. Not just the specific red dust, but other piles as well that could come in the future. What are you doing to make that happen?
Well, first of all, you have to know, and there is maybe one other thing I wanted to say. If this product was that toxic, our employees would work with the cosmonaut suits. You can imagine that, which is not the case, in fact. So it's not well, what we manage is not that toxic. Okay, you have to understand that, because we want to make sure that our workers are happy with their job and they are protected in their jobs. And if this was that worst, we would have problems with there in the first point, which is not the case. So we already have a lot of measures to make sure that this problem don't happen. It was, like I said, on the 26th of October, it was a mixed of many causes who produce that. But we already have a lot of measures to make sure that we don't produce that much dust. And we added for 7 million of equipment since that time. We hired a company to help us to revise our processes to make sure that we can bonify them. We can make sure that we do that in a better way.
What is that $7 million in equipment going to do exactly?
Well, it's mainly sprinklers to make sure that the dust stays on the ground and not goes up.
Okay, so to water down these piles.
Water down the pile and all the canalization to do that, and the electronics to automate all that, and then things like that. So it's a huge plan, and it's a huge program, and we wanted to make sure it's already being it's in the making right now, and the season is going to end soon, because you know that we are working like crazy right now until the time the river will freeze, and next spring we are going to be ready when the season will begin again. And this time, but we cannot guarantee that we are not going to produce dust in the future, because it's an industrial zone. You have to know that, and this can happen. But what we do is we want to make sure that we take the necessary measures to make sure that we do not incommodate our neighbors, and we believe in that, and we will work very hard to that.
One last point, the Environment Ministry sent the company a notice of non-conformity last month, said you would have to submit a report on what steps are being taken, the steps you outlined, by today, December 20th. Is that report being submitted?
Well, we didn't wait for the advice of the Environment Department to work, so this plan was already established before that, and we are going to meet with the authorities next January. We have already a meeting scheduled right there.
All right. Well, Mr. Thibault, thank you very much for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Ainsley.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That is Richard Thibault. He's the communication spokesperson for the stevedoring company Arrimage du Saint-Laurent. Jean-Marc Lachance is the regional head of the Environmental Control Center with the Ministry of the Environment. He was unavailable for an interview this morning, but he told us the ministry's investigation is continuing. It has conducted its own sampling. It's also analyzing dust samples supplied by Véronique Lalande, who we heard from off the top. However, he said because of the possibility of legal action in this case, he couldn't discuss the details, the results of this. Mr. Lachance said that while the company would not be submitting its plan of action by today as required, as we just heard, they're going to have this meeting sometime in mid-January to discuss that company plan that we just heard outlined.